Today we'll be finding volume of composite solids using our formulas for cylinder, cone, and sphere, as well as rectangular prisms. Okay, when you have multiple solids all put together, you find the volume of each of them separately and then just add them together. Okay, so number one here, we have a cylinder and we have a cone. Okay, so we will use the formulas for each of those separately, and then we'll just add our two answers together. So we'll do the cylinder first, which is pi times radius squared times height. Okay, and so we have pi times my radius is 6 because that only goes halfway across that circle, so it is radius. And 8 is my height, so we'll multiply by 8. 6 squared is 36. So 36 times 8 times pi is going to give me approximately 904.78, okay, or 288 pi. I can multiply that pi at the end. Okay, and then we've got a cone that is 1/3 pi times radius squared times height. And 6 is also the radius here, but the height is 9 on this one. And we are going to do 6 squared times 9 times 1/3. That's going to give me 108 pi. And then I'm going to multiply that by pi and then add it with my 288 pi. And that will give me, it says round to the nearest tenth, so the total is approximately 1,244.1 centimeters cubed, because again, it is volume. Okay, volume is approximately 1,244.1 centimeters cubed. Okay, and again, I did that by finding the volume for each and adding them together. Okay, let's jump down here to number 3, and we have a volume of a rectangular prism, and then we have a hemisphere kind of off to the edge here. And you can see that this hemisphere gives me the diameter, which means my radius is 2.5. Okay, so when I calculate that hemisphere, I'm going to calculate it at 2.5 for my radius. Okay, so my rectangular prism is base times uh, length times width times height. Okay, so I do 11 times 11 times 9, and that is going to be 1,089 for the volume of the rectangular prism. And then my hemisphere is going to be 4/3 pi times radius squared, cubed, and then we're going to divide all that by 2 because it's half of it. Okay, and if I actually go ahead and divide that by 2 at the beginning, I actually get 2/3 pi times radius cubed. So I'm going to go ahead and use that with 2.5 cubed. Okay, which is going to give me a volume of approximately 32.725. And we are going to add that to our 1,089. And then because it says round to the nearest tenth, my total volume is approximately equal to 1,121.7, because that 2 rounds, that's 7. It keeps it the same, okay? And then that's centimeters cubed. Is that total, okay? Number 2, you would have a cylinder and a rectangular prism as well. Also notice that this is the diameter because that line goes all the way across. Okay, so you've got that one to try. You've got number 4 you can try. Okay, and number 5 and 6 are very similar to these as well. Now let's take a look at number 8. Number 8 is a little different because the cone is cut out of the center of the cylinder, which means instead of adding them together, we are going to subtract them from one another. So same exact process, we're going to find the volume of the whole cylinder, the volume of the cone, and then we are going to and then we're going to subtract them at the end. Okay, so the volume of my cylinder is pi times radius squared times height, where radius is, I've got my radius for the cylinder is going to be both of these together because it goes all the way to the edge. The cone is just 8, and then there's an additional 6 there, so that means my radius is 14. And then the height is, this full height is 16 times pi. So I've got 3,136 pi is my volume. And then I'm going to find the volume of my cone, which is going to be 1/3 pi times radius squared times height, where the radius is 8, the height is 12. See, they mark the height of that cone on the outside there is 12. So I have 256 pi. And then when I subtract both of those, I have 3,136 pi minus 256 pi. And that is going to equal, the volume is approximately 9,047.8 inches cubed. Okay, and there are a couple more that you can try just like that, where it says the volume of the outside section. Okay, so you can try those on your own. There are a couple more that have them together, and some more different ones that you can try on your own if you'd like.